I did feel a little bit bad because I kept
Kept what?
Dying at the raid.
Oh,
I kept dying. I was so exhausted. I was trying so hard.
I mean,
It's just
when did you die a lot?
I think I kept the first boss we kept wiping on, and I kept doing like I was delayed everything. Like when the balls came out at the end, when it tags you and you got to jump out, I'm usually like, oh, I'll just heroic leap out of there and then run back. And then I did it, and then the balls came towards me, and you slow down, and I couldn't get out in time.
oh yeah,
Like fuck, I
there's
forgot
a
about that.
that's just slow on that. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. It's yeah,
It sucks. Is all I could hear in my head was like how we talked about how there's no rescue or last chance mechanism built in. And I'm like, this sucks so bad. Or anytime that like, well, I guess we should be talking on the podcast.
I mean, it's recording. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. We got a little bit started. Welcome to the Sepulchre of the Plague, because
I was going to say the Plague Edition.
Yeah, because Kristen and I are currently in the throes of and or recovering
The
from
plague.
the plague. Like it's Jim, Kristen, and then Brian's here too. He's not here.
I don't have to play.
He doesn't have the plague.
But he's not
No
here.
plague.
But he's here. But yeah, so so it's your
Team no plague.
Yeah, it's your before you had the plague and we didn't, now we have the plague and you don't.
Yep.
Well, I didn't have it. Somebody else did.
I really
Oh,
thought I was going to escape without getting it. I mean, I took a
Yeah.
test on Monday. I took a test on Tuesday. I skipped Wednesday and Thursday because I knew I had to go to work on Friday. And I was like, well, I'll just take it on Friday before I go to work because I was sick of taking it. That was my third test. It's not that much fun to take those tests. So I was like, oh, I'm fine. I probably don't have it. And then this morning I got up and I'm like, all right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go downstairs, take a test. And I did, and boom, first line. And I'm like, son of a...
Yeah, that feeling when you look, like I'm sitting around Monday and it's like we had performed at an air show opening ceremony this weekend, and it's just like get the news Monday, and like we were outside in the heat and the dust, it was so hot, and there was a bunch of ragweed and stuff, and it's just like, oh, it's just normal being out in the sun all day and allergies and all that stuff, getting a cough or whatever. And then I get the message, oh, so and so has COVID, everybody watch out. And I immediately took a test and just said fuck.
Yeah, he sent me a message at work. He's like, so I have COVID. And I was like, oh my God. Luckily,
Is it more contagious right now, though, then? Like,
I don't think so.
Like, it's just not as bad? It just still spreads bad?
I think that the symptoms are milder now as it's moving on through its different stages and variants and whatever you want to call it. It's leveling out to be a normal fucking flu cold virus type thing.
Yeah, I've been taking allergy meds. I keep saying I have more Sudafed in me than a meth head. Like, I just been popping that Sudafed. Like,
that's offensive to meth heads.
Sorry if we have any meth head people listening to us. I have more Sudafed in my system than you do, probably.
That is an inclusive mindset.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. So
I haven't coughed really. Like I don't.
You just did.
Well, I know, but that wasn't. No. Okay.
I haven't coughed.
That was what reminded me of it, because I haven't been coughing. Like Jim was coughing.
Yeah,
much
I had a pretty
more.
bad cough.
Yeah, I don't have any respiratory stuff. I have no congestion in my. Mine was all in my head. It was all like
Oh,
head
so you're
cold.
saying you got a mind
Yeah,
virus?
it was all head cold stuff. Like that was. It felt like the my nasal passages are all just you know how when you get like a head cold,
Like
that's
sinus
all
stuff.
it was. Yeah, just sinus stuff. Like I could breathe fine. I don't have any coughing stuff going on. I don't have any respiratory stuff. It's just I feel like
Well,
I have allergies.
well, we'll apologize now for the audio quality since
I have a mask
Chris
on.
and I, we're masked up
Yeah.
because I'm coming off of it. She's kind of getting into the throes of it, so trying to keep, I don't think a circular thing happens. So
I hope not.
yeah.
We
But
just ping pong back and forth between each other. We'll never leave the house.
would you stop? I know that's a dream for you
It's a
to
dream
never
for
leave the
me
house,
to
but
never leave the house. If only I could do my job, never leaving the house. That would be great.
it's not as good as you think.
I still see people on my job, so I would still have to see people on my job.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, not leaving your house for work is not as good as you think. Anyway, so not much really going on in World of Warcraft. There's been, I guess, several, and there's even another upcoming nerfs to, like, I guess the Mythic raid or whatever. Not really paying attention too much to it because we're not really doing that.
We had our hands full with heroic.
Yeah. Part of that could have been because I was sick, apparently. And my head might not have really been in it, so.
Yeah, you were having a rough night the other night.
But, we got Skullix down, so we got a new one down, so we got some work to do on the Artificer.
Yeah. I did 14k healing on Skolix. Like
That was
freaking nuts.
That third boss was rough. Gosh.
Oh, Artificer?
It's just gonna take getting used to where to do things. So
it's like the first part of like, oh, we don't like not magically, but like we don't go and do it the first time, and it's like the slow learn. It's like, oh, it's so painful. Like I know you get there every single time.
They're all gonna be like that, I think.
I think that one's worse because it's just there's so much ground shit again everywhere. At least Skrillex or whatever his name is, he was a little he was pretty much the same as normal.
The only thing I
There was
think
really
was
nothing.
that there's the tank mechanic, like the tank swap. You can't stand behind the tanks because it does conal, and I think that was getting us quite a bit at the end because people were, whenever we'd move, people would get out of position and not realize it or whatever. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
fine.
it's just those floor placement things, man. They get me every time. So.
But so one of the things that has come out is, I guess, they added back in the one-click reporting stuff for advertisements in the LFG group finder. It used to be you had to report group and then pick a thing. Now they just added report advertisement to the drop-down menu, which, again, how are they allowing this stuff even in there? If it, I mean, obviously there are filters on it to prevent most of the stuff, but they find ways around it. I mean, if it says WTS, I mean, maybe it should, I don't know. I think it's because a lot of it puts, like, spelled out websites in it. It's an easy way to tell that it's, an advertisement, but I don't know.
I wonder though, like if like you probably can't post anything in there if you have a free account, right? Like I think they've already cleaned up that side of things for the most part.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't know. It doesn't say. It used to be like you couldn't do post groups. I think you can only do stuff for things at your level. Like, I don't think like a level 1 character could go in and post keys. Because these are a lot of like...
Really, at this point, are they just combating normal people that are just trying to sell? runs? Like these aren't like hacked accounts, like posting shit or whatever.
I have no idea.
Mm-mm.
It's not really.
I think it's bad in Classic too. We've been playing Classic TBC every few days, leveling up and going back into Orgrimmar. Still, like, you get hit with a bunch of stuff. So it's both sides of the game for sure.
Yeah, I know it's just annoying sometimes because sometimes there's just a shit ton of those groups, and then sometimes there's none. So looks like there was a new. I don't know if I want to call it an exploit. It sounds like it could be an exploit, but in Halls of Atonement, you know how the last boss does the thing where you get the beams that come from the statues towards them, and you have to soak them.
Say that again?
Okay, the last boss in Halls of Atonement, after you go through the church room and you kill
Oh yeah.
and he throws
gotcha.
the statues around and then spreads them out, and then the beams
You got to
come
stand
from
in the beams. Yeah.
Well, like people were finding ways to soak two of them or whatever at a time, and it does not stack. So if you soak more than one, you don't take any more damage than if you soak just one. So people found a way with
Interesting. That's
with
cool.
a target macro. If you target them and then use a targeted leap, dash, or blink ability like Door of Shadows, Heroic Leap, or Grappling Hook, it will pull you directly into the center of the target, and you could soak all four beams.
What? That's crazy.
So, which is good because it does a lot of damage, and so that means the healer only has to focus on one person as opposed to four people. Apparently, there's a small chance you may only get three, but it's just like, I don't know how that's not an exploit.
So it's still open, like they haven't fixed it.
This says a day ago. I don't know if it's been updated. If I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, no, this was posted a day ago. So, I mean, it's as of right now, it's still in there. I don't know if they're going to fix it or not. It's with it being posted like this, and it be, I don't know how prevalently known it was. It could be
Well, it is now, probably.
Well, yeah, now that it is, but it's like, obviously that's probably not the intended mechanic, and probably not the intended effect of those abilities. But those abilities, I mean, you can't, unless you put in some weird code to be like, move them to the edge of the target's hitbox, which then has to know what the target's hitbox is, as opposed to just having it go to the center point of where the target is, or whatever, I don't know. I think a lot of that has to do with like the target macros, because you can use that for like.
And at this point, like they shouldn't fix stuff like that. Just let the people have it. Which I don't know. Wait, never mind, because it's tied to what is that, national international dungeon?
Oh, the ICD,
Mythic Dungeon, stupid shit.
The internet Mythic Dungeon MDI. Is that it?
Whatever the hell it's called, yeah.
Yeah, MDI.
I mean, if they change it for everybody, and then it just means that they have to do it normal. I don't know.
Well, as I was saying, they would fix it to make it fair and balanced.
Because if you don't have those abilities, then you can't do that. And then now you have to take the class or the covenant. We're back to that again, which they've really been trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Now Another little bit of news I saw was that they're making a change to Shadow Priest's Void form.
Oh.
So part of the problem is that when you go into Void form, if you type anything in /say, it is in the Shathyar language, like the Void form language. Apparently,
Awesome.
which is cool, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking amazing, except for when you need to type something in, say,
If you're in a fight.
in a fight or something like that, and nobody can understand what you're saying.
That's awesome. What are you talking
Like,
about?
I'm the bomb or whatever.
Yeah, so like any add-ons where
Yeah.
it goes, it would be gibberish. So
That's funny.
it is fucking hilarious. It's cool as shit, and it's just like,
Funny.
well, all right, well, no, there's a blue post. You know, they said this is a great call out. After discussing with the team, we'd like to look into changing this in a future patch. Our current thought is that priests in void form would no longer speak in Shathyar by default, but we'd also add a glyph so that players who like the flavor can still opt into it.
Right.
So, which makes sense. If it's going to cause problems in whatever thing, like if you have to do it and it just happens to be in that thing, you know, you don't want to have to do a spell cancel kind of thing.
Make them glyph it off.
That's so
Whoever likes
funny.
it gets
It
to
is
keep
it is funny. That is like
That's-
one of those little things that you don't even think about.
That is so funny. Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like that. So,
I'm glad at least they're trying to keep it in a little bit. So
well,
That's
it's
good.
yeah, I mean, they're like look, this is a problem for people, so we're going to make it not default, but you can opt into it. And if you do, that's your choice. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They should just allow you. I know. I don't remember. I don't even know if you can speak other languages anymore. Can you? You used to have the ability to do
Oh.
like a /gutter speak, right? For like if
Yeah.
you were undead and talking gutter speak, and only people that had gutter speak could understand you. Like,
That is funny. I don't know if that's in anymore. Is it?
I don't think it is, which sucks. I really liked that. You know,
That's way too much RPG, Jim. Like
Oh,
this
for
isn't an
fuck's
RPG. This is a subscription. It's not even a game. It's just a subscription that you pay. That's it.
I do miss that. That. Oh, yeah.
A role-playing subscription in RPS.
Oh. Well, then they should allow me to
so bad.
speak gutter speak again. Even though I don't think I would have ever. I do have a few characters, but like, I know like there's like Orcish and stuff. I think Orcs and Trolls had that, and then there was Common, and it still wasn't cross faction, right? And it's, you know what I mean.
It's only common for the
There was
faction, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a
It was
faction.
cross faction.
It wasn't
but it was
cross
common
faction. It was
faction.
common faction. Common, yeah.
Gotcha.
You know, so you know you would talk in common, but
Should have been like Final Fantasy X or whatever, where you had to learn the language slowly.
Well, we had that, didn't we, with the ciphers? I'm joking. It's not quite the same thing. And, you know, in Zareth Mortis, you go around and you slowly unlock the
Oh,
ciphers and
God,
learn
yeah.
more of their language. Which-
That garbage.
Which that I thought was going to be a lot cooler than it was. The problem was
Yeah.
that the language stuff didn't play into anything.
It was nothing. Yeah, it wasn't even worth like.
It's like you unlocked it and it's like, oh, wow, you go click on this thing, you can read more of it. Nobody read it. You know, it wasn't like being able to, like, decipher parts of it gave you, like, clues on where to go next or something. Like, if they had made it like a scavenger hunt and, like, a cipher thing, that would have been
Mhm.
way cooler, you know? But instead it was just kind of
Yup.
like, I mean, I guess it's what they said.
It's true. Oh man.
But, yeah. So, I mean, there really hasn't been much else going on. I did find a list of different things since this Sunday is Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day. I did find. Now, this is an older list from like 2008, but it is a list of, they say, 10 famous and not so famous dads in Warcraft lore.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody has any opinions on who they think is like one of the better fathers in World of
Oh,
Warcraft.
better?
Or
Ugh.
favorite? I don't know. Favorite character that
Favorite?
happens to be a father? I don't know, just something.
Can we just identify some that we're familiar with?
I mean,
Varian's the only one I could really think that like comes to mind.
you got.
I mean, I guess Thrall is, but like it's not front and center by any means.
Is he? Did he have a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really see the kid that often.
Well, he probably lost it like he lost his axe 500 times. So
And where the fuck's his wife? Is she still out in the Grand?
lost her too.
Lost her too.
Because Agra, right? It's Agra, right?
Agra, yeah.
Yeah, she's not around. Like, was it? It was BFA and the BFA, right? Yeah, when they got Thrall and brought Thrall back.
Yeah. When Southring went out to him.
Yeah, they went out to the farm in the Grand and brought him back, but no family. This list starts with Dalen Proudmoore, which, we saw some stuff of.
Is this best?
No, this is just 10 famous and not so famous ones.
Gotcha.
Now, this is from 2008, though, so this is like 14 years ago. And it's just funny, like some of the pictures. Like this, it's just a statue of a Proudmoore, as opposed to we have seen in-game cinematics of him through like the Jaina stuff and BFA and whatnot. And then they list Duratan, and it's funny. It's
okay.
The screenshot from there is from like the canceled Lord of the Clans game. It's like,
oh really?
It's like the animated thing, and it's just like, even though he was in, it's just crazy to see all that. They got Nihilus Aaron, who's the father of Medivh.
You said is that the Click game you're talking about?
Yeah, I think it was the one that they were gonna make and they ended up not doing and turned it into a book. It was the canceled one. It looks like
one looks like Hero's Quest or something like that, or King's Quest looking.
Something like that here.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going off of. They got Niels Aaron, which is the father of Medivh. So basically, and it's funny because I'm reading The Last Guardian right now, which is basically the story of Khadgar going to apprentice under Medivh and all that stuff. And I just got past the point where Khadgar sees the image or the vision of Egwene basically leaving Niels Aaron's room in the morning, basically going, I got what I need from you, as she pats her belly or whatever, because she banged him and got pregnant. It's like, that's all I needed. And he's just like, the fuck? Fandral Staghelm, who is apparently the father of Volston Staghelm, which I have no idea. I guess he died. I guess his son died fighting the Karaji. So that's like the opening of the gates or whatever. So that's a long time ago. It's got Gromhell Scream listed. Tyrion Fordring, which it's the picture of Tyrion Fordring is the one where he's living out in the woods in the Eastern Plague Lands. Like after the first book I read, Blood and Honor. It's just crazy to see some of these things. And it's got Varian Wrynn, but I'm pretty sure that's the picture from one of the books. Like the war.
Oh yeah, it was before he appeared back in the game, or he actually came in the game.
Yeah.
They didn't put him until Lich King, right?
I don't remember when he was introduced back into the game. They got Tyrannus Menethil III, Black Hand, and then Pelturos White Moon, which I have no. It says even here that they're not major figures in the lore. But
they don't have the dwarf from Blackrock Depths. What was remember his daughter was in there?
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, they didn't list all of them. I mean, it's just
I got to look and see now. Because I don't remember exactly who that was.
You're not talking about Moira's father, are you, Muradin?
Yeah. Wait, what?
Muradin? Wasn't he the king? The one, or who was the one that turned into
Yeah, that was Mirrodin, but I didn't think he was. Is it? Yeah, it's Black Rock Depths.
Mm-mm.
Depths.
Oh,
Black Rock Depths. Black Rock
Bird. BRD.
Depths. Emperor Dagran Thursian.
Oh,
Thorson.
Thorson? Yeah, okay.
And then
Was he
Princess Moria Bronzebeard. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Yeah.
Right, because he took her as a wife, and then she took over when he died, or when we killed him, or whatever.
Some shit like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, old lore. Old lore is lore. It's crazy because, like I said, I'm reading The Last Guardian, and they're talking about...
Old lore is like very not lore-ish. That's the cool thing about it.
I mean, it
A lot
is,
of it
but
is.
like they retconned a lot of it because, like right now,
Right. Yeah.
it's
It was a lot cooler then, in my opinion, honestly.
well, it's just funny because they're talking about in The Last Guardian, it's like Sargeras, fights Egwene, and she like kills him or whatever, and it, like they make it seem like it was actually Sargeras. Whereas,
Oh, with his avatar, the avatar of Sargeras in like Winter Spring or something like that, wasn't it? That she fought him.
it might have been. They talked about snow. I don't remember if it was there or not, but it was like they took the avatar and they threw it in the tomb, right? They talk about that, but it makes it seem like it's actually.
And then he inserts himself into her.
Yeah, he hides out in her tummy until Medivh's made.
In her, yeah. That's
But
awkward.
it's like Garona's in there, and like they talk like she's half orc, half human. But like there were no humans on Draenor. I think she got retconned to be half orc, half Draenei, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just in the movie or not. Which apparently the movie came out 6 years ago. Because like a couple.
Wow,
I
really?
saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, there was an article about that, which for all the changes they made, I feel like I want to watch it again.
Really?
I didn't mind it.
I don't know. As soon as I see Khadgar, I just I can't watch anymore.
Is it because he's young?
No, it's just I have this picture of Khadgar in my head between the books and the game, and I cannot go back and match it up with that actor. I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's a me problem for sure, because I think I do get picky about actors in certain scenarios, movies, shows, stuff like that. So it's just unfortunate it's this one. Which it's also kind of the same with King
Lane Rin.
Lane,
Or
yeah.
King Lane.
Yeah. His as well. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot of the cast seemed very cheap. I don't know how to explain it.
You say cheap? Cheap?
Cheap, yeah.
Well, you got to think about it. Like, they probably had a limited budget, and they probably were just kind of trying to find people that looked.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they
who
could
knows?
be.
Like, they probably spent more of their money on the CG, which was fucking amazing. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's more of a me thing. It's just hard to watch because and at the end of the day, it's you really want to see it and you want to see more from it. And all it's doing is just highlighting everything, and then they're glossing over the actual lore because it's a movie. It's being directed and handled by somebody else, and they just dotted some I's for them to be able to get it through, and that's what sucks the most about it, at least. That's why I think still, I'm going to go ahead and hark on this one more time. Not the last time. There should be an anime or a cartoon of the Warcraft universe to better flesh out and re-explain the lore, past, present, and maybe future.
I agree, and it should be done by the team that does Rick and Morty.
That would be kind of cool, actually. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, God,
Or
I'm pumped.
South Park. I don't know if we're gonna go wild. We'll go South Park.
C Lab 2020.
That would be awesome. I would totally watch the shit out
If it was like a 60s or 70s style cartoon and stuff like that,
Oh,
that'd be
man.
hilarious. No, like
that would be awesome. Ah, God, that would be awesome.
I wish I had talent to do stuff like that. But
I
do not.
know, yeah. Warcraft 2021. Oh, rest in peace, Hal and Mad Murphy. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I do. It would be nice for them to, if they were to take the Chronicles, right? Just take those 3 books and turn each of them into like a little 6-part like miniseries, right? Each one would be like 6 or however whatever chapters, and just have it almost be told by like the author, almost like a Hobbit type thing, right? Where like, you know, he's penning it and he's writing it, and as he's writing it, like have it be like some, I don't know who would be, I don't even know who wrote the Chronicles, right? Like what the perspective
I don't know.
of is of the person penning it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like, because they chronicle a lot of stuff, because I know they talk about some stuff, and they make mention of how how we think it's a certain way, but it's because we don't know about other things, and they know about it.
Which is a really shitty way to try to highlight stuff. Like, don't give yourself such an out that you can retcon everything when you're trying to lay the foundation of the lore, right? Especially if you got to go into space and explain all that shit too. 1, that's your own damn fault. 2, sorry, you don't have a chance to retcon any of that shit, okay? Staple it down, tag, you know what I mean? Like, put a stake in it and say, this is the boundaries of everything that we're going to explain and get into, and we won't get any crazier than this right here. And that's what they need to stick with. Not this like, oh, well, let's create a story in so this is an area that actually exists in the cosmos, but it's actually the afterlife. And you can't get to it unless you take this portal, but then like some people can get out of it and come back in and stuff like that. And it's just, don't even worry about it. Like, you just trust us that it's a place that should exist. And we know it shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, enough with that shit. Like, they have good storytelling abilities, and they can reel some of their storylines back down from the cosmic bullshit they spit out well beyond, you know, the Legion, right? The Legion at least had some coolness to it. Like, it kind of got weird when the spaceships and shit showed up, but like the whole concept that like we had no good control over demons and the way that they you know, invade and exist in Azeroth and stuff like that was just so it's such a phenomenal perspective, like, and to be able to tell a story from that where you like there's just nothing you could do, right? And sometimes it turns really, really powerful good people into bad people, and they become the enemies and stuff. Like, holy shit, you got all the power you need to tell a story for 20 years straight or longer, right? And then they fucking flatten it and do some stupid shit. So fuck Blizzard. Waiting for it. Waiting for it. Waiting for it.
She's not paying attention.
Wait, what? Sorry.
Fuck Blizzard.
F Blizzard!
Yay.
That's my mantra. Although I did get boots.
You got an upgrade this
I got
week.
an upgrade this week.
So
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. I got my boots were like, I think my lowest item level, they were like 240 something or something like that. It was really low. And I got 272s.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I got 272s, so it was definitely an upgrade.
272s?
Yeah.
yeah, we did.
Oh, you
did
got
it
the
as well.
mythic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of which, we need to do that maybe Saturday, if we can.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out if we got time. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who like the actual like author is of these.
Well, wasn't it like what's his nuts? He was like wasn't he the
The
high
Watcher.
level hand waver? What is his name? He
Metzen?
left the company.
Metzen?
Yeah.
I don't mean like
Was it?
that, right? I'm talking about as you read it, like what
Oh.
in-universe character is chronicling all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, is it anything at all though? I feel like it's more just like this is what you need to fill in the gaps right now. I thought that was the whole purpose of them.
Oh, I'm looking through like the tropes stuff for it, and like one of the things is canon discontinuity. And the first thing in here is the history of the orcs' corruption and Medivh's backstory are changed so much that Rise of the Horde and The Last Guardian are now almost completely inaccurate.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Assholes.
it talks about how Garona was born. Like it wasn't the result of Gul'dan forcing an orc and a Draenei to mate through his manipulations. She was part of a Bladewind orc and a Draenei prisoner, which was the thing that was happening. They changed some relations. We all know they got rid of Medivh. Not Medivh, Medan. Like they kind of like rewrote the whole like volume thing.
Is that fully official? Like he's totally gone?
Yeah, it's funny because I think in the first one, if you go look up Medan, it says he's on page 401, which doesn't exist in the book.
Oh.
What's page 401? HTTP 401 page not found.
That's 404.
404.
Oh, that's what it said. Man, I got it wrong. Whatever. I don't have it in front of me. Shut up.
I don't know what 401 is. We can look it up.
Yeah.
If you want.
No, it's 404.
There is an I'm a little teapot or whatever response code if we want that one.
No.
Unauthorized. 401 is unauthorized.
No. You know what's funny?
That would be even cooler. Like, you can't see this. It's a secret.
Yeah, I'm an idiot because it says it right here on the screen in front of me. So I just didn't get that far.
I still think it's bullshit. I think that Medan should exist, and I think it should be. I think the concept of the Guardians are really cool, but at this point, like with Dragonflight and everything, like that's basically their job, right? I mean,
well, the Guardian
they were mostly like they existed mostly because of the Legion, right?
The Guardian?
Yeah, like
Egwin.
Yeah, she explains her role, like at some point in that book.
Yeah, it was funny because they talk about Medivh tells Khadgar where magic came from and how it was all concentrated, and then the Kaldorei went through all this stuff, which I think that got changed. You know, because I don't think they were the Kaldorei, because isn't that the Night Elves?
Mm-hmm.
Talks about how like they overused the magic, which caused it to explode because they were allowing the demons in, which they did, right? Which was 10,000 years ago, which is when the dragons left the Dragon Isle and sealed it off, maybe to go fight. But yeah, I think that just they talked about how Kaldorei sunk and or Kalimdor, it was called Kalimdor, and it sunk and all that stuff. I'm like trying to figure out. I'm like, they really just like a lot of these early books are what they talk about the retcon and all that stuff, and it's just basically they called all the old lore riding by the seat of your pants, because it says naturally trying to.
It's like the Star Wars books, wasn't it? The original Star Wars books, like they just
the legends.
Yeah, well, the when they were popular and like hundreds of freaking authors wrote them, like back in the whatever 80s and 90s, it was just kind of like pick a piece and go. But it was so cool because like the universe is deep enough where you could get away with that, right? And potentially you have interesting characters come out of it, but then like Disney, boom, they're not canon. Like,
Well,
it's all gone.
and again, part of that too. I mean, that kind of makes sense because there's so much. It's like no, it's like it's too much.
I mean, you buy an IP that's that old, right, and that big, and
Mhm.
that's what. I mean, you got enough money, you could do that, whatever, that's fine. But still, shit like IG-88 and all that stuff, and even like
They didn't get rid of
I don't know.
IG-88 though.
right, no, but like there's just a lot of that type of story writing that came out of those types of books, and I don't know.
No,
There's
I know.
some. I
They're
think
good.
that story wise, yeah, I don't think it's. I don't know. Resetting the context makes sense from their perspective, but generally, like, there's probably a lot of good stories they could have told out of that.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see though too that like with Disney, like they took characters and brought them back, like Thrawn. The
Who?
Grand Admiral Thrawn. Was he Chiss? The blue guy with the red eyes. He was in Renegades, I think, or he was in.
Oh,
He was in probably the first Star Wars series I had, like the Legend Legacy books or whatever.
yeah.
The Heir to the Empire trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Fucking amazing. But he was like the big bad guy running some of the remnants of the Imperial Army or whatever, the Imperial forces. But he was like the only, because like the Emperor was like xenophobic and didn't like non-humans, and so he was the only alien that ever made it to Grand Admiral, because he's blue-skinned or whatever. But like they brought him back, so it's like they do pull from that with some of the stuff, which is good. But
Well, I want to see Medan. I want to see Medan back.
he's in the comics. It'd be neat if they found somebody to brought him back or bring him back.
Or just let him exist. Like, there doesn't need to be a huge story around it. Whatever, just let him exist. Right?
I think there was a wasn't there a comic series about the Guardians? Because he was like supposedly got back into that because Khadgar is like the last one or didn't take up the mantle or something like that, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm about all tapped out, so
Yeah. Mana tapped.
mana tap. Yep, I'm
Out of man juice.
All right. Well, that's a good note to end it on. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll probably be off next week. I will be unavailable. So you can check us out at facebook.com/server restart in. Use a tweet at server_restart, and we'll catch you in a few weeks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.